Hi guys, I'm Eileen. Today I want to share with you guys the 5 trending handbags I don't see myself buying anytime soon. Now all these bags are extremely popular and quite a few beautiful ladies I follow on Instagram or YouTube have these bags. So I really hope no one will take offense. This is just my opinion. And if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm a bit fussy and particular when it comes to handbags anyway. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, I will not buy the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette accessoire. My first impression when I saw this bag on Instagram was, what's going on? I actually thought this was a DIY job and someone put together a handbag using their small leather goods. I think I was a bit puzzled because the design is so contemporary and unconventional. But to be honest, it's quite a clever and practical idea to wear your small leather goods on a shoulder strap. And I must also say, many fashionable ladies carry this bag really well. They actually look very modern and chic wearing this bag. Personally, I just don't think I can pull it off. I mean, I like quite simple designs anyway. So for me, there's just too much going on with this bag. And I especially cannot put up with the fact that the coin purse will be dangling on my chest. Also, I already have a coin purse and a mini pochette which I use every single day, so I think having this bag will be a bit redundant for my collection. Another bag I will not buy is the DIOR book tote. Now when this bag first came out, it was only available in the bigger size and I seriously couldn't find a use for this bag. I think it's too big as an everyday bag, too open for travel and too fancy for running errands. But then DIOR came out with a few other sizes and I think the size small is actually quite nice for work. It doesn't look too overwhelmingly big and it should be able to fit a laptop and some A4 size documents nicely. And visually it just looks a little bit bigger than a Birkin 30. Now I think these bags look stunning and they look very well made as well, but I just cannot justify paying £2,000 for a canvas bag. And I was especially shocked to find out that the mini one costs £1,600. It's insanely expensive and I'm not exactly sure what is this bag used for because it just looks like a little glorified shopping bag that you'll get when you buy a little makeup item. As for the size small, I think it's so beautiful and such a statement piece. Carrie's from LV Lover CC has one and it looks amazing on her. But as for me, I'm quite happy to just admire it from afar. Next one is the Chanel 19. This collection was launched in 2019 and the design is said to be inspired by the classic 2.55 bag. This collection is very well received, but I just can't put my finger on it. I mean, it has the silhouette of a flat bag, but it's not as structured as the classic flaps. In fact, it looks quite soft and almost spongy. So I don't know, I guess I'm probably used to the classic flaps looking a certain way, and the Chanel 19 is too casual for my liking. Also, you guys know I prefer textured leather anyway, so I'm probably being a bit biased because the Chanel 19 is made of a soft and shiny goat skin. Another thing that bothers me a bit is that this bag can look a bit unsupported and saggy when it's being used. I know a few people use a back insert for this bag for a more structured look, but still, it looks like a lot of the weight is being centered around the CC clasp, especially when you carry the bag on the top handle. In terms of space, it does look like a very roomy bag because of the lack of structure. So you can certainly fit quite a bit in there, but I can't help but wonder, will the weight wear the bag out quickly, especially because it's made of a soft leather. I might be overanalyzing here, but I am worried this bag will look a bit like a very tired looking Balenciaga after a few years of use. Now I'm all for keeping the shapes of my handbags, but I do know some people prefer their bags looking a bit more slouchy, so if you are one of them, then this shouldn't concern you. The Chanel 19 come in 4 sizes, but I usually prefer smaller handbags, so I've only looked at the size small, and the shoulder strap for this bag looks a bit too long for my liking because I prefer my shoulder bag to sit a bit higher up, but it does look like a good length if you want to use the bag crossbody. But then again, I prefer my crossbody bags to be quite a bit smaller. So all in all, this bag caught my attention, but I can't say I'm a big fan of it. Another bag I don't see myself buying is the DIOR saddlebag. Now these bags were really popular in the 90s, and I remember seeing Carrie Bradshaw wearing it in Sex and the City. But then it kind of disappeared since, and then in 2018 this collection was relaunched and I could literally see these bags everywhere on Instagram. And now this collection has been extended to other bags like the backpacks, messenger bags and belt bags. So if you are a fan of this collection, then it's fair to say you are now spoiled with choices. As the name suggests, the design is based on the shape of a saddle. So it's a bit of an unconventional design, and I think it's something you will either love or hate. Personally, I've never been drawn to this collection. I think the design is a bit beyond me. I mean, if you are someone who is very stylish, then you can easily pull this off. But I just have quite a reserved palette for handbags. I usually prefer something quite simple and classic. That said, trendy pieces do grow on me sometimes. For example, the Louis Vuitton mini Palm Springs backpack, which I absolutely love. But as for now, that's not the case with the DIOR saddlebag. In fact, a while ago, someone left me a message on my channel saying this bag looks a bit like a liver, and that's been stuck with me since. But as I've always said, you should get whatever bag that makes you happy. It doesn't matter what everyone else says. So if you think you can rock the DIOR saddlebag, then it's your perfect bag. The next bag I will not buy is the DIOR Montaigne. Now it might look like this video is targeting DIOR, but I actually love DIOR as a brand. Their quality is exquisite and their customer service is always top notch. I love my Lady DIOR as well, which I've had for years. But in the last few years, not many handbags from DIOR appeal to me, and the DIOR Montaigne is one of them. Now again, I might be biased because I don't really like boxy handbags. I mentioned on my channel that I've sold 2 Chanel boy flaps, one of which was the new medium and the other one was the size small. And I want to say the DIOR Montaigne has quite a similar silhouette to the Chanel boy flaps. Luckily, I think I've figured out my preferences. So essentially, if I'm gonna wear a bag crossbody, then I don't want it to be boxy. But if I ever buy a bag that is boxy or structured, then I'll prefer it to have top handles. That aside, I must say, I don't think that's a wow factor to the DIOR Montaigne. It just looks like another flat bag with a big CD logo on. So I think if you already have a Chanel Classic flap or the Hermes Constance, then having this bag might be a bit redundant. But then again, I'm not really into flat bags myself, so if you are someone who has a nice collection of classic flaps, then this bag might appeal more to you. Personally, I also think this bag in the monogram canvas can be such a statement piece, but I just don't see myself paying that kind of money for a canvas bag. So those are the 5 trending handbags I don't see myself buying anytime soon. They are all beautiful, but also quite expensive, so I think it's important to not follow any trends blindly. In fact, we really should take some time to consider if a certain item will suit our personal needs and lifestyle. I would also love to know if you happen to own any of these handbags and how are they working out for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!